When the crowd wants more, I bring on the thunder. Cause you got my back and I'm not going under. You're my point, you're my God, you're the perfect chord. And I see our names together on every billboard. When is it my turn to be happy? And that is a question I've been asking for a few years now. Welcome back to The Buzz with Beth. I am your host, Bethany Haven, and in today's episode, we will be dissecting the downfall of my life. I'm so kidding. I don't know what I'm talking about. It is so hot in here that it is getting to a point I'm going to have to figure out what to do. I'm going to have to figure out what to do because it's not pretty. It's not pretty, and I'm hot. I'm hot. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm not at all. You guys may notice that the framing is a little different in this episode, and there's a reason for that. One of you actually left down in my comment section that you prefer me closer to the camera. And I said, I disagree. I disagree with you. But I'm going to try it. You said I seemed too far away. So I moved the camera closer, which was hard to do because it actually ended up cutting everything out that I worked so hard for. But we're going to see it. I think I hate it. I kind of like it.
I hate you.
But, I try to listen to my audience, so we'll see. Maybe it's the new thing. At least, you get one episode where you're at peace. So, to that one listener who wants me closer to the camera, this one's for you. And you can't say I didn't listen because I ruined my life for you. Oh, God, no. I have actually so much to talk about today. I don't know if I'm going to get through it all. I really don't. Because I have stuff written on the board to talk about, but I had so much to talk about, I had to actually add it. I had to move to the notebook. You want to know a funny story about this notebook? When I was a senior in high school, we had award night for all the seniors, and so your teachers could nominate you for an award, I got like 5. I got 5 of them. Most kids didn't get any, and I got 5. So I guess you could say I'm the smartest person to ever live. But there was a girl who does not like me at all. She doesn't like me at all for some reason. I really don't know. I was never popular or anything, so I really don't know what her vendetta against me was. But she did not like me at all and made it known all throughout my life. And when I went to this award show, I arrived a little late, which isn't usually something that happens because I'm usually always on time. But I had taken a shower, my dress didn't fit, and so I had to change everything, and then we ended up being late. So I ended up having to sit next to her. She had no one sitting next to her. Wonder why. She's awful. But I won a few awards that night. And after the award show, she came up to me and she was like, if I'd known all I had to do was write my name on a piece of paper, I would have done that, and maybe I would have got some awards too, to, make me feel bad about my awards, saying I only wrote my name on a piece of paper, and that's what did it. But what really happened was she said she wasn't even smart enough to write her name on a piece of paper to get an award. So I guess that really blew up in her face, but she thought she ate. But anyway, one of the awards was from my English teacher, my AP Lit teacher. I talked about her on here before, but we're tight. I love her so much, and I had a rough time in her class because my classmates bullied me, which is fine. Most people do, and she gave this to me, and yeah, I use it a lot. But I wrote some notes down in it for this episode. So let's get into it. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Because I was talking about that girl who I hate so much. I will, in another episode, talk about more stuff she's done to me, because that's not the worst thing she's done to me. She's truly an awful person. And I believe that. And the other day, I posted a video. I said, I try not to hate people, but oh my God, this one girl from high school, oh, I hate her so much. I posted that on my Instagram the other day, and she's who I'm talking about. She was who I'm talking about. But anyway, let's get into it. Guys, I started watching The Bear, and I get it. I really do. I am late to the game, and I know that, but I'm glad to be here because that show truly is amazing, and I get the hype. And I have a lot of notes, about 3 pages of notes just on the show because it is truly so good. So let's get into it. Oh, maybe I should give a little synopsis on the show. Okay, also, this will include spoilers. You've had time to watch it. Okay, so don't play me like that. You've had time, and there will be spoilers. And also, synopsis. So, The Bear is basically about a chef, like a world class chef, like one of the best chefs probably in the world. That's what I'm hearing. And his brother owns a restaurant like in Chicago. It's kind of like a shack basically. It's not a very good restaurant, very dirty, just not that good. But it means a lot to some people in Chicago. His brother ends up passing away um on his own account and leaves the restaurant to our main character, this world class chef, Carmi. So he comes back and he doesn't want to sell the place because, his brother left it for him and he always wanted to run that place with his brother. And it's very important to him that he fix up the restaurant and make it really good. And that's basically what the show's about. And then so he goes through trying to make the restaurant better and everyone's basically against him. But that's kind of what we got going on. Now, let me just get into this. I am a broadcasting major. I've said this before, it's like bootleg film school. Basically, I want to be a filmmaker, okay? I want to write movies, write TV shows. That's like my dream. So I did my studying on the show and I really analyzed the writing and the characters, did the whole thing, the whole shebang because that's kind of what I do when I really like a show. Especially this show because I was ready to talk about it when I watched it. Now, all of the characters are very very likable. And if they're not likable, I can still see why they're in the show. Like I still see why they add and why they're there. Even if the characters aren't likable, even Tiff, for example, I still understand why they're there and why they're written the way that they are and how they add, which I think is something you don't come across often in TV and film anymore. I feel like a lot of times you have characters who just they don't really add anything and they're just there as like filler. And I'm like, okay, why are you gonna have the character if they're not adding anything? I don't know why, because I feel like it just pulls away from the main point. But I have not experienced that feeling in this show. Like every character has a place. The writing is some of the best writing I have ever seen in a show. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because I feel like there's so much happening in the show. There's so much, especially in those scenes where they're in the midst of like cooking and everything is going so rapidly. So much is going on. So much is being said and it's all so cohesive and it tells a story. Like even though it's so quick, it works. Like I just find it so interesting how they could write that. Because like even me, like I couldn't I'm not going to say I couldn't. I would just find it very difficult too. Because I mean, I've written scripts, I've written a ton of scripts, and just like how rapidly they're saying things and the back and forth between the characters is so interesting to me. Very very well written and very hard to do and pull off. Like that's the one part. Pulling it off is like the hardest part and they really did. I don't know. I don't know. I'm such a little slut for that, dude. It's really impressive to me because I feel like a lot of times it's just to have like that kind of back and forth between characters and things happening so fast, like insanely fast, because that's like part of like owning a restaurant. Things happen really fast when you're cooking, and that they just pull it off so well. Like the actors, the writers, the all the crew, like that must have been like insane to do. To just I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but how insanely fast it's going, like the fast pace of it all, and they're doing so much and saying so much. I mean, they're even saying so much with like just one word. I don't know. It's cool. It's really cool to me. And even this is where I really get into it, the camera work. My sister knows this about me. I love cameras. I love camera work. I am just a little slut for it. I'm just a little slut for camera work. I am. And the camera work in the show is so impressive. It's like, how I think of it is the writing tells the story. Like, the writing plays a part in telling the story, but the actors also play a part in telling the story. Like, so much goes into telling a story. It's not just one thing that does it well. Like, the writing has to be good, the acting has to be good, but even the camera work plays a huge part in telling a good story. Like, you need the camera work to be good to do the story justice. You know what I mean? And I feel like the show does that so well. Even I'll talk about this. An example of this is like Carmi's in the alley by the restaurant having a panic attack, and you see the camera go in on him really fast as he's like going back and forth having the panic attack, and then it switches to like all these memories of I'm stuttering because I'm so excited about this, of Claire, of his family, all this hectic stuff, and it's like the flash of everything, and then there's Sid, and like, it's just like that again, that fast paced like flashes of all this stuff. I don't know. I think I'm a bit. See, now this is it's proving to me I am a nerd, and I'm a little embarrassed now. But yeah, guys, I can successfully say that my computer shut off and cut about 10 minutes of me just talking. So I have to backtrack for a second. Maybe it was a save. Maybe what I was saying was awful. I don't know. Okay. I'm not about to cry. I'm not about to cry. Why do you think I'm about to cry? Tell me right now. Does it look like I'm about to cry? Okay, shut the camera off. This is so dumb. Okay. Another thing I love about the show is that it's an original concept, and you just don't see that now. In this like new age of cinema and like TV, there's so much just being reused, recycled, just reproduced and put out. So many reboots that it's unfathomable. And it makes watching TV and going to watch movies not fun. Like, I don't know. When I go to watch a movie, when I go to watch a TV show, I'm watching it truly because I want it to change me in some kind of way. Like, I want it to give me new thoughts. I want it to change my personality. Hear me out on this. When I watch something, like take Fleabag for example, I was so inspired that it changed me as a person, kind of changed my personality, and it was one of the leading factors that made me want to pursue screenwriting, right? Like, it changed me that much. That's why I'm watching television. That's why I'm watching movies. And in this new age of just TV, I'll say TV because it's more so that we're just seeing these same shows put out. Like, let me think of a good example here. I don't know, because I kind of hate throwing things under the bus. I won't say a show because I hate throwing things under the bus. But we're bringing shows back that have already done their time. And I get it on this point. Like, you want to see your favorite characters again. But the thing is, rarely do they ever bring them all back. And it's never executed in a way that pleases people. And I mean, of course, you can't please everybody, but it's always executed in a way that's just like, okay, well, we did this for money. We did this only for money. And looking at it from like a marketing perspective, it's really smart because look, you're bringing back everyone's favorite show. You can basically seal the deal on the money aspect. Like, of course everyone's going to come watch it. You're bringing back nostalgia. You're bringing back the one thing that made people so happy when it was on air, and then people were devastated when it went off. Oh, we're gonna bring it back. Oh my god, we're gonna get so much money because we're bringing back a beloved TV show. We're banking off of the nostalgia. Here's where it goes wrong. It's only about the money, and yeah, you're gonna get people in that first episode. You're gonna get people to go watch the movie, but it's not about the art. It's not about the craft. It's about the money, and it's not interesting to watch. You're doing nothing. It's just this one huge cycle. I'm just getting too much into this. I could talk about this for hours, but back to the bear itself. Roar. Um, it's a new concept, and I haven't seen it. It's not a concept I've seen before. The whole time I was watching the show, I was never once like, I've seen that before. I've seen that before. Or even if there is something like that in the show, it was executed well enough that I didn't even notice, and that it became new again. Right? Like, it's just such a new concept, and I understand completely why it has such high acclaim and so many accolades, and why it's like won so many awards. I mean, if you look up the show, it's like a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes, maybe 99. I completely understand why. And believe me, I'm not even someone who trusts Rotten Tomatoes, but that show definitely deserves the high rating. It is just so well done. It's shocking because you just don't see shows like that now. You don't see shows that are so like artistically driven and done for the sake of telling a good story. And I don't know. It makes me happy. And the writers have done such a great job writing the female characters because they have depth to them, and I feel like we see so often um our female characters are almost an afterthought, and even like we I see now like you have like a female character who's strong, independent, um a feminist, let's go with that. And then you have like they're strong and independent, but once they're in motion, once it's executed, they're nothing of the sort. They're just mean, conniving, awful. That's not synonymous with strong and independent. And I don't know where we're losing the plot on that, because just because you have a character who is strong, independent, knows what she wants, does not make them mean and awful. Does that mean they have to be that? It just means they want more. They want, I don't know. It's nice to see in this show that, like, take Sid for example. She has so much depth to her. She's complex. There's more to her than just being a woman in a show, right? Like, she wants to be a chef. She knows what she wants, but she's nervous. She has anxiety. She has fears. She has like a background life. There's like character development there, right? And but she can also be mean when she has to be. She can tell people what to do. There's so much to her character, and that's really nice to see. And you have like characters like Donna. Did I even mention her before? I probably did. Who, yeah, has her flaws, but very well written. She's complex. There's more to her. She, as one moment she's happy, the next moment she's completely not. And it's very well written. And you can tell it's written in a way that adds to the story and makes her feel real. That's how I feel with all of the characters. And someone even brought this up, like the female characters are written so well, and then you have Claire. And then it kind of got into like the like canonically speaking, how all the female characters are written so well, and then you have Claire, which makes her seem like just the typical dream girl, which would make sense because she doesn't really add anything to Connor's life. In fact, she almost takes away because she holds him back, because all her character is just nostalgia. She's just a constant reminder of his past, whereas Sid is like the thing that pushes him to what he truly wants to be and doesn't keep him in the past that haunts him. Oh my god, am I the smartest person to ever walk the planet? Anyway, But the female characters are really written so well that it feels like there's actual thought behind it, and they're not an afterthought. Because I think so often, like, our female characters, like the things that represent us, are just an afterthought, and that is doing nothing. Hey, we're not, what's the phrase? We're not pushing the needle. There we go. We're not pushing the needle any further. And I don't know. I feel like this show has just done such a good job at writing real female characters. And I just really appreciate that cuz that's what I like to watch. And I like to be inspired, you know, and they inspire me. Oh. Also Will Poulter is in this show. What? I completely forgot he was in this show. He was like in one or two episodes in the second season. And guys, for the short time that he was on the show, they really made use of his character. Like, honestly, I want more of him. Like, he was a great character. I loved him. He did a great job in the character. I want him back. I really liked him. He was a cool character. Um yeah, I mean, I guess that's all. He's so fine too. I have loved him for a long time. I have loved him since We're the Millers. It's one of my favorite movies, and that is such a funny movie. God, it's good. I love him. I want more of him. I think they made really good use of him while he was on the show, and I feel like that's hard to do with a character that's on there for such a short amount of time. But I really liked his character, so I hope they bring him back. Also, Tina. Guys, I when I first started watching the show, I was a Tina hater. Yeah, I'll admit it. I hated Tina. Oh, how quickly I changed my mind. I am a Tina lover now. I am pro Tina. I love her. I love her. She is so cool. Like, at first, like, when she messed up Sid's onions, I was like, oh god, Tina, I hate you. I hate you so much. But after watching the show further, I realized, no, her feelings are valid. Tina's feelings are valid. Of course she's upset. She spent her whole life here, basically, and everything's changing around her. Now she's being told what to do, and things are just changing, and she has no say. I get why she's mad. But you know what? All she needed was to be shown some kindness, some grace towards her hard work, her food, okay? All she needed to be told was that her potatoes were good. That's all she needed. And now look at her. Now she's a Sue. Now she's a Sue. And what about it? Go Tina. All the characters, like, even in the kitchen, are so good. Like, I love all of the characters. Truly. I really do. Like, I think of all of them. I really like them all. They all have their own story. And this is another thing. I feel like the characters all have their own separate storyline going on, but they're all so interesting. Like Richie, for example, like, he has his own storyline going on, and the character development with his character was astonishing and beautiful. I loved it. I loved it so much. I love his character, and his storyline is just so cool. The episode they had dedicated to him, I basically dedicated to him, where he was, kind of training at that really fancy restaurant. The change we saw in him, where he started wearing suits and doing all these things, and he really proved himself in the last episode where he was doing the is it called a call sheet? No, that's something in my profession. um, I don't know what he was doing, but he was doing it really well, and I just love all the storylines. It's so cool. Now let's get into the heat. Let's get into the heat. As if I haven't already. Let's get into this. Sid and Carmi. Okay. I have written word for word. This truly is one of the most beautiful slow burns to ever grace television screens. I agree with that. I wrote that myself, and I agree with myself. I will agree with myself until the day I die. I will think that I am right until God takes me from the planet, and I'll die on that hill. But I'm a real sucker for a slow burn, and I think that is so beautiful. I keep saying that everything about the show is so beautiful. It's because I mean it. It's because I mean it. But it is. It is. It is. Someone said this. Where is it? Where is it on here? 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 Okay. Someone described their relationship as of now, like how it's been going, as like emotional intimacy. And I could not agree more, because it really is like their relationship is really driven in like the small details. Like never once are they like, I love you, okay? It's never that. It's just small things like, this is like the food, this is good. Or he said it too, this is almost perfect. Which I don't know, I think it's just, I don't know, I love it. Maybe I love it, okay? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. And so what? But oh, I gave examples in this. So they have like this emotional intimacy, and so it is driven in like the small things, and like the small things that are said that, turn a blind eye to, you wouldn't notice it, okay? But it's seen when I have like all of this written down, so bear with me. This is seen when Carmi tells Sid about his Al-Anon meetings. Okay, he told no one else about that other than Natalie, because of course he's or she's his sister. So, and she was the one who encouraged it, so of course she knows. But no one else knows. But he told Sid. Why? Yeah, they were having like a talk in the alley, but he still didn't need to tell her that. But he did, because he trusts her. Sid tells Carmi her mom is dead. No one else knows Sid's mom is dead other than Sid and her father. And then when she tells him, he's like, I should have known that. I should have known that about you. That seems like something I should have known. But she had never told anybody. No one else knows. But she told him. Yes, he asked about her relationship with her mother, but she could have just kept saying, we're not that close, like she had been. She could have just said that. But no, she was honest and said her mom was dead. And she was like, but you don't have to like feel sorry or anything. It was a long time ago. But he was still like, I'm so sorry. And I don't know. Bring back men who are kind. And you know what else? You know what else? I love Carmi because, yeah, he has his problems. He does. Hey, he does. That's a fact. And he has flaws. And he's made mistakes. But shoot, he seems like he actually cares for people and wants to be a better person. He's not one of those guys who's just like arrogant and stays arrogant to stay ignorant, okay? He's not like that. He wants to be a better person. Why else would he be going to the Al-Anon meetings? And then while he's there, he thanks them for their time. Like, it's one of those little things. Like, he says, I'm grateful to be here. What? Actually, what? It's like something as small as saying, I'm grateful to be here, that tells a whole story in itself, that he wants to be a better person. And you know what else? You know what else? When Sydney and Carmi are having that little meeting, not meeting, their conversation in the alley where Sid is really struggling and he wants to know what's wrong, and she's like, it's nothing, and he says her whole name, Sydney. It's something as small as that. Like, he loves her. You know what they say about when they say your full name like that? That's hot. Come on. And if you want to sit there and lie and be like, oh, they're not in love, how about you leave? How about that? How about you leave and we never talk again? I think that would be beneficial for the both of us. Anyway, the table scene. Talk about emotional intimacy. What do y'all know about the table scene? Let's get into that. Let's get into that for a moment. That was just such a beautiful scene, because it's like she has these fears about opening the restaurant, and she's like, you could do this without me. She says that to Carmi, you could do this without me. And he's like, no, I couldn't. And she goes, yes, I could. And he says, I wouldn't even want to. He doesn't say, yeah, but I wouldn't want to, because that would be saying, you're right, I could do it without you, but I don't want to. No, he's backing up his statement from before, like, I could not do this without you, and I don't want to. Even if, like, okay, guys, Carmi is one of the best chefs in the world. He probably could do it without her. But he doesn't think he could, because she is so valuable to him that he doesn't think he could make it without her. And on top of that, in no world would he want to, because she makes him a better chef in his eyes. Get into that for a minute. Get into that. That is some tea. And then he tells her, "You're not alone, Sid." And she says, "Neither are you." And you're going to look me in the eyes and say they're not in love and they're not made for each other? You're lying to yourself and you know it. And it's honestly sad. It's sad how you choose to lie. Okay. Guys, get into this one. Get into this one. Get into this one. The I'm sorry. The I'm sorry. He does that with no one else in the kitchen. Just her. Just her. Not even Richie. Not even cousin Richie, who he's not related to. But still. But he doesn't do that hand signal with anyone else in the kitchen. No one else. Not Fack, who he claimed was his best friend. Get into that. Get into that for a minute. Not cousin Richie. Not Nat. No one else. Just Sid. Interesting. Okay. The way he touches her back when walking into the restaurant after tearing the walls down. Did you guys catch that? Because I caught it. I caught it like catching a lightning bug when you're 5, okay? I caught it. It's just like small things like that. And he does it again when she goes to his apartment. The both of them go to the apartment and she opens the oven. His jeans are in there. And he touches her back and she's like going away. He just does it. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. But he does. Because it's like, it's endearing. Is anyone else catching that? Am I crazy? Right? I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I might be. Anyway, when she says, "Can I ask you a question?" and you can tell me to F off. And then he says, and get this. And then he says, "I doubt I will tell you to F off." Are you guys not seeing what I'm seeing? He would have told anyone else to F off immediately. He would not have even entertained any question from them. And if so, he would have just moved on immediately and not even answered the question and been like, "Oh, we gotta do this." Like, he would have. But not with Sid. He says, "I doubt I will tell you to F off." Because she is important to him. Her thoughts, her feelings are important to him. And even when she gets mad at the things he does, he in the moment even makes an effort to be like, "I'm sorry, it won't happen again." He wouldn't do that with anyone else. Like when he did knock the walls down, even though they had to go down and she was like, "You could have called me." He was like, "You're right. I could have. And I will." And he was apologetic in the moment. And I didn't even write this down, but there's that moment where he's like, "You want me to call you to ask you if we should tear down the walls that have to be torn down because they're rotting?" And she's like, "Yeah, exactly." There was a moment there, and we're not going to pretend that there wasn't. I'm sorry. We're not going to pretend there wasn't a moment there. What else do you want from me? What else do you want from me? Anyway. Oh, is that all I have written? Oh, I guess so. Well, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I am very happy with the route I have taken on this show. And I am very excited for season 3 to come out. It comes out in a few days. I got onto watching the show at a really good time. So I'm very happy. I'm so excited for it to come out. It comes out like 2 days before my birthday? My birthday's June 29th. My birthday's in 2 weeks. I'm so excited. I'll be turning 19. It'll be a great birthday present for me. I'll finish it in a day. I finished both seasons within 24 hours. I did, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Also, my mom the other night made biscuits that were really good, and I ate them while I watched it. But yeah, I know I spent probably nearly an hour talking about the bear, but I have no regrets. But you know what? I guess that brings us to our celebrity crush, if it's not obvious already. Jeremy Allen White. I don't think I have to explain further why he's my celebrity crush. I feel like I've done enough on that. But his acting in this show is so remarkable. It really is. I mean, he deserves every award for it. Like, oh god. Oh god. I can't even get into it again. I can't because I'll keep talking about it. But he has done such a good job. And the casting on Ayo Edebiri, They nailed it. They really did, because I could not imagine any other person as Sid, and I love her. I love her so much. I think she's such a great actress. She's so funny. She nails the character. Now to our next thing. Did you guys know that wait, what? Oh, actually I want to talk about this first. Wait, actually hold on. Now to our next topic. A few days ago, probably a few weeks ago, honestly. If I say a few days ago, that could be any time from actually a few days ago to 5 years ago. Anyway, a couple weeks ago, I was just sitting on my phone. I got an email from a dating app, and I was like, "That's weird," because I am not on any dating apps. And not only am I not on any dating apps, I'm certainly not on any for old people. Um, I don't know if you guys know this. I am only 18, not an elderly person. So this was strange. And it turns out someone took my personal email, not my business one, my personal email, and signed me up for a dating app and matched me with a bunch of old men. So that was weird, and I just want to come on here and say, "Hey, could you guys not do that?" That was weird. That was a weird thing to find. But I couldn't lie, it was quite funny. It was quite funny, but I don't want to be matched with all of those people because that's a little weird. I'm just a little girl. Um, but I guess I'm happy that you're attracted to me, I guess. There's always an upside. I'm hot, and that's the upside on that. That was a quick thing I wanted to talk about because it was funny. Anyway, did you guys know that I failed my driver's test? I did. I did when I first took it. I not only did I fail my driver's test, I failed my learner's permit exam, the paper test, and then I failed my driver's test. It was a really crazy story. So I'll tell you. So when I was in my junior year of high school, of course I was already going through a really rough time being bullied so bad, but I went to go take my driver's test or my learner's permit test. And it's the one, it's on paper, and it's like basically rules of the road. I went to go take it, and I walk in, and the first thing they want to do is they test my eyesight. So I go to sit down, and I just remembered how embarrassing the story is. I went to sit down, and I put my eyes up to the thing, and they're like, "What is that one thing? What's this? What's that? Where's the blah blah blah?" Just testing my eyes. I could not see a single thing. The entire thing was just white. I'm telling you guys the truth. I could not see a single thing. It wasn't that it was blurry. It wasn't that, like, it was just off to the side or something that I wasn't looking hard enough. Everything was white. I could not see a single thing. And I was like, I can't see a single thing. And so he stopped me. I never took the actual test, the rules of the road test. I never took that. I didn't get to because he failed me on the eye exam. And I had to go to the eye doctor to get approved to take it again. And I go to the doctor, and they actually tell me, hey, the reason you can't see is because you're forgetting to blink. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm forgetting to blink. They said, you're so nervous that you're not blinking. Guys, what have I done to deserve this? That's the question I'm asking. What have I done to deserve being so anxious I forget the involuntary movement of blinking? That makes no sense. But, things had to get worse for me. Of course, I failed the friggin' exam. I go back to class, and everyone's like, "Did you pass? Did you pass?" And I had to be like, "No, no. Actually, I failed the eye exam." And they were all like, my teacher was like, you kind of have to be able to see to drive. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for telling me. Anyway, and then I finally was able to pass that after a few weeks. About a year later, by the time I was 18 when I finally took my driver's test because life got crazy and I was scared. And then I finally took my driver's test right before I started college. So it was still quite recent. So I haven't even had my driver's license for a year. But I went to go take my driver's test and I failed that. And this is where the real tea starts. Okay, I get in my sister's car, but at this time I don't have a car, and I take it out with the guy who smells like cigars and smoke. Okay, in my sister's car. I'm like, get out of here with that, you weirdo. But I'm driving, and he goes, do a roundabout, or oh my god, I cannot believe I still have this messed up. He goes, do a turnabout, and I'm like, oh, do you mean? And he goes, I didn't ask you to tell me anything. I said do a turnabout, and I was like, I know, I just want. And he's like, no questions, do it. And so I pulled into a parking lot, turned around, and he said, go back, go back, go back to where we started. And I'm like, okay. He's mean. Okay. He's mean. He smells like smoke. I go back and he goes, you failed. But don't be butthurt about it. I've already failed 10 kids today. Guys, it was 10 a.m. and he's already failed 10 people. Something about that tells me he was out to get us, guys. To my homies out there, he was out to get us. Okay? So I failed that, and that was really embarrassing. I didn't even go back to school that day. I just didn't even go back. My dad was like, it's fine. You don't need to go back. He took me to Peddler's Mall to make me feel better, which was great, which is actually where you can't see it. I'm sure it's off camera right now, but I got that lamp. No, it wasn't even that one. It's where I got the Snoopy lamp I have that goes with that one. But yeah, that was crazy. Then I finally went to take it again. I took it at a different place because I was not going back. I couldn't show my face again. And I was so nervous that the guy made me pull over, and he was just like, hey, it's going to be okay. And he just started talking. He's like, so, what are you going to college for? And I was like, broadcasting. He's like, oh, that's fun. And I was like, yeah, thanks. And we just started talking to calm me down. And then I pulled this out. I said this because I didn't want to fail again. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. I just really need to pass this because it's the only way I'll be able to get to college. Hey, that was a lie. That was a lie. That was a lie. Because truth be told, I don't even drive to college. My sister drives me. But he was still really nice, and that may have been why he gave me my license. But I still passed. I did pass. I did everything right other than he told me to turn left, and I did turn right, which I think is pretty bad in driving. So we ended up going to a local Walmart, but I turned us right around and we went right back to where we needed to be. But he was such a great guy. God bless him. I hope he's doing well. I really do. I think I looked him up later, and I didn't say anything. I didn't message him, but I was just like, I love you. Because I do. Because I do. I miss him. I hope he's doing well. I wish he was my grandpa. Hello? Sometimes I get scared. Sometimes I get scared. But yeah, all of this to say, I finally got a car the other day. Ayo! I had a car for maybe a month now, and I'm finally breaking my silence and telling you guys I got a car. It's a nice little Kia Soul. It's gray. Her name is Betty, after Folklore, because she's the color of the Folklore album cover. And I love her very much. There's also a little mirror ball hanging on the dashboard mirror thingy. So it's really fun. I love having a car. I can finally just do stuff. So it's great. And I kind of know how to drive. I kind of know how to drive. So yeah, it's been really fun. I love my little car. Speaking of my car, did get in a car accident. Not in my car, in my sister's car. We got in a car accident. So it's a really good thing I just got a car because it's our car now. It's the only one we got. So yeah, that was bad. That was really scary. Those I don't know. So there's these things on semi trucks, I guess, and they came off the tires, I guess. I really don't know. And they were on the road. It was as we were coming back up to school for college. It was right before we let out. And they were in the road, and my sister, she couldn't switch lanes to dodge them, and she couldn't go right because there was cars there, and she couldn't go off to the side into the other lane because that's just grass, and it would have been a lot worse damage. So she just had to basically straddle it and take the hit. There was literally nothing else we could do. And so we hit him. We hit two of them, and it totally ripped out the front end of her car. But here's the really crazy thing about this. We hit the first. I'm asleep in the car when it's all happening. Hits the first one. Hey, I don't even flinch. Doesn't wake me up. Not at all. We hit the second one. It hits my side. Both of them hit my side. And it tears through the car. And I'm just like, oh! I'm jolted awake. And my sister's like, it's fine. It was a pothole. Or she didn't even say that. I just thought it was a pothole. She's like, it's fine. Go back to sleep. And I was like, got it, sister. And I slept. I went back to sleep. After we just crashed our car, I went back to sleep. Guys, I'm telling y'all, it is bad what I got going on up here. It is bad. It really is. I need help. We got into a car accident, and immediately after we hit it, I'm like, deuces. I went back to sleep. Like, that's bad. And I apologize to all I've caused to suffer due to my behavior. No one suffered. We were fine. But yeah, it was pretty scary. We made it back to school with our front bumper dragging under us. So we made it back. We stopped at a gas station, and we called our parents to come up there, and they were there. And one of my dad's friends. So, yeah, we were fine, but it's a really good thing I got a car because now we need one. So, yeah. What else is there? Did I just get through everything? Oh, well. I love how at the end of every episode, I'm like, is that it? Is that it? As if I didn't write it all. I'm just like, where's our material, guys? It's me to the writers. You guys need to write more. It's just me. It's literally just me. But yeah, I guess that's it. I almost died, so I guess you guys should be really grateful I'm still alive. Send me gifts that I'm still alive. You guys need to love me. You guys need to love me. You guys should be grateful I'm here. Because I provide for you. And honestly, I'm probably like the best person you've ever seen in your life. If I had to assume, I'm probably the best thing that's ever happened to you. So just be grateful I'm still here because I definitely could have died that day. But I guess it's the end of what is this, the 13th episode? Oh my god, this is the 13th episode. Crap, I meant to sing Taylor Swift. Foolish one, stop checking your mailbox for confessions of love that ain't never gonna come. You will learn the hard. What are the words? Okay, you know what? I've already flopped. It's over. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Bye. Meow. Meow. Oh my god, my stomach. There's people screaming out there. It's children. Oh my god. I have on camera like my stomach absolutely sinking. I think they're okay. They're laughing out there, I think. God, that was so scary. Oh my god. Stay safe out there, guys. Love you. Bye.